want to start off by saying congratulations to all those that have won this voting election. All the women that are coming into Congress, into the cabinet, into all these very powerful systems in the government. Now, with that being said, I have had a tug and pull with this whole vote thing. I've been a conspiracy theorist for so long. I've always feel like, okay, when everyone's doing something, but I've constantly have this tug and pull where it's like I want things to change. I want things to go in the direction in which are going to help and heal our planet, our people, our way of being, our way of living. But then I just get like this sudden urge of, okay, but is this the way that we're going to do it? And I've had this with everything with the vegan diet. Is this really like the way to eat, or are we just following the new world order and what they really want us to do, or pushing not vaccinating, is that really a positive thing or is it a negative thing? Just all of these things that are very controversial, very like tug and pull triggers for people. And so I personally didn't vote. Not to say that, oh, don't go vote. Do what you want. Do what you feel like it's going to make a change for you. For me, I sit back and I contemplate the thought of, okay, but what has voting actually done for us? And by us, I mean all of us. That's women. That's people of color. That's gay, lesbian, trans, queer. What has that really done for us as a whole, really? I mean, you put in a bill and then in a couple of years, someone else can come in and take that away from you. As we can see with what the Trump administration has been doing with everything that Obama has done and what they've just changed. And I feel like a lot of that has something to do with trying to stir the pot a little bit. As much as everyone hates Trump, and I'm not saying that he's a good candidate, I'm not saying that he's a good person, but I feel like if we really wanted things to change, he was the perfect person to put there, because I feel like so many of us have really gone out there and pushed something new and have done something bigger than ourselves because we hate him so much because of the way that he is. So if we had to do it over again, I would still put Trump in that presidential seat, because I have seen things that I have never seen in my years of living on this planet, in this civilization, in this developed nation. And so I feel like a lot of us want to like attack Trump for being an idiot, and in some regards he is, but I do feel like with the bad comes the good, because I feel like so much has changed and so much has been put out there that would probably not have been put out there if it wasn't for the idiocracies of what's going on during these times. But anyway, going back to voting, I feel like there has to be a different way, a better way for us to make a difference and make a stand for what we believe in and what we want. And I know that for a little bit it's making strides, and I don't want to say that it's not. It is making strides in the right direction, but I don't feel like this is concrete. This is not going to stay and be here forever. So what can we then implement within ourselves, within our communities? And I've been having this conversation a lot with one of my best friends, and what I feel like would help is having us not be one huge nation and have us be more small community based nations. And by that I mean not nations, but having smaller communities, almost like tribes, like how we used to live. I feel like when we had it in that way, we were doing things that were directly impacting our community, our tribe at that very moment. So yeah, we can like want all these like people in the cabinets and Congress and all this other stuff, and I'm still kind of about it, because what is that going to do on the smaller scale? Like, how is that helping me here in the right now? Like, when everyone was fighting and bitching and moaning because Trump won, I was just like, okay, but how does this really affect me? It doesn't, because what Trump does doesn't really affect me at this very second. And although yes, he has done, he has changed a lot of laws for people of color, and he was attempting to put a complete house, a Republican house, so that we can get all of our rights taken away, which that's another argument for another day. But what rights do we really have in this nation? We are very privileged to be in a nation that I can even state this, and I know this, but at the same time, I'm also aware and conscientious of the fact that we still have limitations in our freedom, because nothing is really free here. Not our ability to travel is not free. Our ability to live is not free. Our ability to, nothing is free. Like, let's just put that out there. There is no such thing as a free nation. So while I am very privileged and I am very grateful for the fact that I am here and I am able to speak and not be killed and not be like hung somewhere, I'm again also aware of the limitations within that as well. And I feel like all of us have to understand that even with this vote and how this has helped and how this is going to change us, we have to be proactive, still proactive, consistently in our communities, doing everything and anything that we can to make this voting, whatever is happening, actually count. Because I feel like sometimes, okay, now we have a woman in office, now we have a woman of color in office, now we have a XYZ whatever in office, and we just sit back because now they can handle it. No. And that's where I feel like we mess up. This is the time that we need to continue to put the seeds within the brains of the people in our communities to make a change, whether that be how they eat, how they educate themselves, how they get their information, whatever it is. Teach them about law, because a lot of us are getting incarcerated for stupid ass reasons that, I mean, there's people in Colorado that are banking on legalized marijuana, but we have our black and brown brothers and sisters still getting arrested for it on the East Coast, wherever it's not legalized. And it's like we have this constant tug and pull, and it's like if we don't educate our people, if we don't educate ourselves, and we just leave it in the hands of the government, we're gonna go back to doing the exact same thing we've been doing, and I don't want that to happen. So yes, congratulations, and I'm so glad that this is making the strides that we as a collective wanted. I still think there's a lot of work to do, and I want everyone to know that we need to do the work individually, as a collective, in our communities, in our very small knit communities, whether that be our girlfriends, our sisters, our covens, or whatever. We need to continuously do the work and not leave it in the hands of the government. Remember this message. I don't care what you remember out of anything that I just said. Just remember that we have to continuously work. We're not leaving it in the hands of them, because they can take that away. Remember, they can take everything that they have given us away, because it is in the government's possession. What we do, what we have for our community, if that be that we make gardens for our community so that they get fed, and they make sure they get fed every year, whether that be instilling a practice for all people to have some type of medical, because right now we have Medicaid and Medicare, but who knows what happens in the next few years. We need to be able to help our community and help to sustain our communities and the people that live in our communities, and make sure that we uphold them. Just do the work. That's all I want to do. Just do the work. Stop being lazy and leaving it in the hands of everyone else. Thank you for listening. And don't shoot the messenger.